So this is gonna be a really quick update video for you guys on stock market. Dow is down 0.20%, nasdaq slightly up on the day 0.22%, and S&P also kind of a flat day here, but we saw a big move to the downside but recovered and now pretty much flat on the day. Russell 2000 getting a relief rally up close to 1%, and look at right here on this groups. Energy leading the way on top, led by Chevron. Communication services, led by Google. Industrials, technology, basic materials. On bottom, utilities, now taking a beating in deep red today. Consumer defensive, real estate, healthcare, and financial. So look at right here on energy sectors, led by Chevron and also ExxonMobil right here. XOM up 3.26%. Other one, Chevron up 1.93%. And pretty much this whole energy sector is up green on the day. Now we saw Costco also, consumer defensive, going up today with some good earnings, gapping down and then going up almost 2-3%, and then ending up right here around 1.91%. Now industrials also doing pretty good today. Some of these stocks are green on the day, Boeing kind of flat. But look at here, guys. Tesla down on the day 1.5%. Amazon flat on the day. Google communication services up 1.5%, and Nvidia finally up in the green 1.33%. And I played Nvidia again today, guys, buying puts on top, and this thing actually getting all the way down to, I think it was 416, 417. We sold at 418 and shorting right on top at opening around 425. Microsoft slightly up on the day 0.21%. Apple stock taking a beating down 0.89%. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video we're going to talk about overall stock market. But before we dive into this video, please hit that thumbs up button. That is greatly appreciated, and that really helps out with YouTube algorithm. And if you want to support the channel, get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, 3 days of live trading live in my Discord, definitely check out the Patreon. I'll leave a link down below in the description. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. And now let's get right into it, guys. And here's my X account, and if you're on there, definitely give me a follow. And I do post a lot of things right here on X, and this is the easiest way you can get in touch with me, especially right here on X. And especially this chart I want to show you guys that I posted yesterday. RSI already getting extremely oversold on SPY, and look at this. We tagged this trend line today from October lows where the market bottomed. We saw a big rally, came back, and then another face ripper. I mean, this thing was going up non-stop all the way up to almost 460, and now we're tagging this line today, and we saw instantly buyers stepping in right here and buying the dip. So as long as we're above this trend line, SPY definitely can move higher, guys. And this could be a bottom that a lot of people missed today on SPY ETF. So on SPY ETF, you can see better right here what happened today. Market sold off, and then we found a lot of buyers right here at the gap fill, and also touching this trend line and then going back up and pretty much closing flat on the day. Now we can remove this line right here now that this gap is fully closed, and SPY moving away from this trend line. As soon as we got to this trend line, I think a lot of algos and buying kicked in. And look at this candle. I mean, this is definitely a new development here on SPY. So I think in the short term, it's not a guarantee, because especially with government shutdown looming, I cannot give you a guarantee that this is the bottom. But I think, usually they come up with something and the government will be funded and you're going to see the market rallying higher. I hope that's the case, but worst case scenario, guys, we go through a government shutdown, and if that happens, SPY will break this trend line. So keep that in mind. If you bought the dip today, you did the right thing, but also keep your stop loss, I would say, around 420 to 418. and SPY getting down there and not getting a bounce, you should be exiting your position on SPY. But so far, things are looking good. We got a lot of buyers buying up the dip right at the gap, and also right here on this trend line, we found a lot of buyers buying up the dip, and within minutes, guys, I mean, from 422, this thing ran up to 427.40, something like that. And now trading at 426, up another 67 cents. So only way I would see SPY going over 430. I mean, this is gonna be, if I put the volume gap right here, I mean, look at this, guys. First of all, this was a big level right here. And now, if we need to push through 430, we got to go through all these big volume and a big resistance right here on SPY ETF. So this was a big level that we broke. And now it's kind of hard to break, all these volumes right here and get above 430. The easy way we can do it is gap up over at least 429, maybe even 430, and then push higher for this gap on top, 438. But I think, it's not just a one-day thing. It's going to take some time. But at this moment, going into tomorrow, you want to watch and look at this, guys. I mean, it was trading lower Bollinger Band sitting at 425.37, and it was trading actually at 422. So well below the lower Bollinger Band. RSI was screaming oversold 30. And now we got that bounce, but it's not like big bounce and we're green on the day like 2%, nothing like that. But it can come very soon. You could see a face ripper in the market, and that kind of depends on that government shutdown. If we can avoid that, then I think you're going to see a rally early as tomorrow, if not Friday. But also, like I said, keep that in mind. I mean, market runs on catalyst and a lot of other things, and right now we have a bad catalyst that is looming around this market, and that is government shutdown, guys. And also you got Jay Powell speaking tomorrow 4 p.m. so that's another thing to look out for. Anything positive from him, we could see a little bit of push to the upside, at least a relief rally in the market. So watch this level right here between 422 to 423, this trend line, and if that breaks 420 and then 418 as a support, and below that it's gonna be free fall all the way down to this gap 407.27. Now to the upside, somehow SPY can actually get above, I would say 429 to 430. We gap up over it, and then watch out for a move up to 436 to 438, and that could be something to look for. And next week, as long as we can actually hold this trend line right here as a support around 422 to 423. So tomorrow, guys, resistance to watch, definitely 429 to 430, and support to watch 422 to 423, 420, and then 418. On triple Q, it's up 0.23%, and this one getting down to 351, and we saw a rally in just a matter of a couple of minutes, all the way up to 356 almost, and then sold off a bit and closing at the support 355. And this candle, actually I like it. There were a lot more buyers right here than sellers on top. So let's see tomorrow, guys. Triple Q can break above 5-day moving average right here, 357. You're going to see a quick trip up to 360, and then the gap above 364.46. Now triple Q cannot hold 355. Look at this right here, almost touching this support 350. It was getting far too overextended to the downside, trading below lower Bollinger Band, and that is why we saw that bounce on triple Q. Now also, triple Q getting that big bounce, I would say a big contribution from NVIDIA, and that is why we saw that bounce on triple Q. So this one definitely looking really weak, but NVIDIA rallies maybe another 10, 12 bucks tomorrow. You could see triple Q going all the way up to 360, and possibly within the next few days up to this gap 364.46. So tomorrow you want to watch 355 and 350 as a support, and to the upside it needs to break 357 and 360. On IWM, it's up 0.93%, and boy oh boy, this was a nice setup for a day trade today on IWM, shorting exactly. And this is the hourly chart. And if you look at my screen, actually got into a short position right here, 176 puts. And then what happened, guys? I mean, this thing sold off all the way down to 174. It was really good profit right here. Took profit, and then this thing came back up. We saw that rally at the end, and when this thing was going down, SPY was also hitting 422. So everything came down at the same time, and that is where IWM actually allowed us to book a nice profit right here. Now on this daily chart, it was getting really oversold, and now if you look at my screen, it's actually holding 173.54 is a support and not above 176, guys. It needs to get over 176.31, 5-day moving average right here, this blue line, and only if that happens, you're going to see a move up to 178 and then the gap above 179.82. Now IWM, definitely there is another gap down here, and the head and shoulder pattern already playing out. So I see yesterday a lot of people are calling out this head and shoulder pattern now. Well, it already happened, so there's no point of calling it out right now. And just because we got a head and shoulder, we shouldn't be calling that market is crashing and you're going to see a 70% retracement to the downside on SPY ETF. I mean, some people are just crazy, guys. I mean, they would do anything for those views on YouTube, and I don't need that. I do not need those views. I'm not the guy who wants to put something on my thumbnail where it says, SPY crash is coming and it's 70%, minus 70%. I mean, come on, give me a break. 70%, just do your thing. Say, 5, 10%, maybe this is what you think. Just whatever you think, just say it. But don't just say 70% because that's not going to happen. It's almost not even 1% chance of happening as of right now. If things get ugly, we will know by looking at the charts, not by predicting 70% crash in this market. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. Now on IWM, definitely we got another gap, 171.56. So keep that in back of your mind. If there is a relief rally, I think that rally could stop around 180, if not 181 to 183. And then you're going to see continuation to the downside. Now at some point, we get some good catalyst and this thing breaks out, I would say above 188. That is when you're going to see a lot more upside, and this thing will definitely be back in business for more upside. Until then, guys, this is a downtrend and a strong downtrend, and we could see IWM going down to this gap, possibly retesting 170, and who knows, a full measured move here on this head and shoulder pattern takes IWM down to 162 to 163. So it's a long way down, another 10, 12, 13 bucks. So just keep that in mind. IWM definitely getting a dead cat bounce, and it's not out of the woods yet. On Dow Jones, it's down 0.18%, and I was eyeing to buy this dip right here after filling this gap, but unfortunately, the gap is still open. Dow came all the way down to 332.93, and then we saw that big bounce back up to the upside, and now trading just below 5-day moving average and pretty much trying to retrace lower Bollinger Band as a support, 336. So tomorrow you want to see DIA over 336 and then 338, and only if that breaks, you're going to see a retest of 340 on DIA. To the downside, strong support down here and the gap 332, and if that gives up, all the way down here around 326. On TNX, massive rally again, and that led to a big sell-off on S&P 500 and also on NASDAQ. And look at this, guys, up 1.5%. And another big bullish engulfing candle. So you cannot ignore this. And also in my last video, I said the next stop will be around 46.20, and we actually went above and beyond 46.43, guys. Insane move on TNX. Now also it's getting really frothy, overextended to the upside. So watch out for a pullback at least down to 45.29, 5-day moving average right here, and then this support right here, 44.88. And I think at some point you're going to see TNX coming down and retesting this breakout, and that could offer up some relief rally for NASDAQ and S&P 500, and that should be a strong support, 43.71 on TNX. And to the upside, the next stop, 47.60. So keep that in mind. Also, I mean, we cannot ignore this candle on TNX. So the dollar took off also, up 0.40%, and look at what happened, touching top of this channel right here, almost 107 and getting rejected and coming down and holding above 106.41 upper Bollinger Band as a support. So dollar here, I mean, if there is a pullback, this is gonna be it right here from this channel right here, touching and getting rejected, and now we could see dollar coming down to at least 106 to retest 5-day moving average as a support right here. And only if that breaks, we're going to see dollar retesting bottom of this channel, and that is around 105.50, guys. Otherwise, if this thing actually breaks 107-ish right here and it breaks out from this channel, then the next stop could be going all the way up to 108 to 109 to hit this next resistance trend line right here on top, which is a long way, and that could put a lot of pressure on S&P 500. So keep that in mind. We're expecting a pullback from top of this channel on dollar, and we got a rejection today, but you know, it's green on the day. It needs to get under, at least needs to come down to 106, and only if that breaks, you're going to see, you know, more upside on S&P 500. Until then, if this thing pushes higher and breaks 107, well, then we're going to see new lows forming on S&P 500. On VIX is down 3.80%, and this one getting crushed. Just like every other time I called it, it was getting far too overextended to the upside. And look at this, guys, Bollinger Band on top sitting at 1851. We got a big pullback down to almost 18, and now it's holding $18 as a support. Now, also, we have strong resistance at 20, so no wonder that we got a big pullback on VIX from 20 all the way down to almost 18 bucks, almost a $2 pullback on VIX. Now 18, that's going to be key level to watch, and that is where this 5-day moving average now rising to 18 bucks. If that gives up tomorrow, we see a gap down on VIX below 18, this thing going down to 16, and then possibly down to even 15 bucks. But don't get overly bullish right now because it's trading above 18. And if this thing somehow gets up to 20, and if that breaks on VIX, you're going to see a lot more downside in the market. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated